Hi everyone. My name is Cassandra Sanders, and my tag is going to be mommying with rum. I hope that it doesn't offend anyone. I'm not trying to offend anyone. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm pretty nervous about it. Something that has been I've been thinking about doing for a long time, and I just figured I'm just going to jump on it and do it. So I just want to put out a disclaimer that I am not here to offend anyone. I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings or make anyone feel less than, because no one's perfect, including myself. If I have touched on a subject that makes you feel uncomfortable, then of course, log off. Um, if you understand what I'm saying, I would love to hear your opinions and your perspectives on what I am going to choose to talk about tonight. And thank you for joining me. What I'm going to be speaking about tonight is, how do I put it gently? The mother daughter dynamic, and also the generational curses that happens in the family. That's not me farting into the chair. The Hispanic family, I'm gonna say, because that's what I can speak on. So I am of Hispanic descent. My parents are from Panama. Um, I saw a lot growing up. My mother did a lot, and she worked her butt off to make sure that I, as well as my siblings, had all that we needed. But in the interim, we saw a lot. So when I got a bit older, well, let me not say older, but about 9, 10, 11 years old, I said that I did not want to have children based on what I saw, based on what I experienced, based on what I saw other women in my family experience, and then based on things that happened to me. So I said that I didn't want to have any kids. From 11 years old, I was saying I don't want to have any kids. I'm not having any kids. I became a teenager, and of course, you become a teen, for young ladies, things start happening. You have to go to an OBGYN. And I was told by an OBGYN that I had something called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I have my notes because I have to keep myself together and I want to make sure I'm accurate. What happens is that with that you have a lot of women that have PCOS. We have a lot of hormonal dysfunctions. Facial hair is one. We have a lot of cysts. Um, we the hormonal balance is off, so it makes it more unlikely, or most unlikely, that we cannot have kids. And that's saying that women that have PCOS, they cannot have children. But at that time when I was told that, it was maybe 20 something years ago, and it was like, yeah, most likely you're not gonna be able to have kids. So I was like, well, that's fine. That's fine with me because I want to have kids anyway. So I have younger siblings, and I treated them as if they were mine because I felt like, hey, I'm not gonna have children anyway. So I loved and loved and loved on them. Okay. Um, in my 20s, I met someone, and I was pregnant. And I was like, wait, but I was told that I couldn't even have any kids. All right, well, here we go. Um, so I had my son. And then 24 months after that, I had my daughter. They are the best things that ever happened to me. I feel like I'm living because of them. They are awesome. They're funny, they are articulate, they when I tell you that they get at me all of the time, what's it called, goofing or gaffing or whatever these kids call it, I don't know. But my kids are hilarious, but they're very smart, they're very kind, they're very gentle, they're very empathetic, and they like to learn. Okay? So things didn't work out between their dad and I. We got divorced, but I will always say one of the best things that he ever did was help me realize that yes, I was able to bring children into this world. And I have the two, I feel, best things in the world. Okay, so here we are now. I have children. But when you have kids, something in you changes. And I remember that my GYN, when I went to a follow up appointment after having my son, and I was telling her how I was so protective of him, and I didn't want anyone around him that did not that I felt was going to tell me that I was raising him the wrong way, because I felt that it was undermining me as his mom. And she said, well, that's just the mama bear in you coming out now. I never knew that we had that instinct, but I knew of it when I had my son. So when I had him, these ideas and these thoughts of, what I saw or what I experienced as a child, or what I saw other boys go through in my family, I didn't want to instill in him. And then it became even more so apparent that I did not want to pass on any generational issues, any cliches, any I'm trying to be really careful here. I didn't want my daughter to be screwed up because of the things that I was told that I had to do as a female in this Panamanian Hispanic household. And I didn't want him to grow up how I saw other men raised in a Hispanic Panamanian household. So that's why I'm saying this whole thing is about breaking the generational curses. Now, like I said, I got married at 24. I had my 2 kids. It didn't work out. Despite whatever happened between us, we have our children. So I'm never going to doubt him or give him any crap for that. Whatever happened after that, that's personal stuff. But I got my kids, right? Okay. So one thing that I decided that I wasn't going to do as a parent, because it was done to me, and I saw that I saw it being done to cousins of mine, and you have your parents' friends that are Panamanian and they have kids. I didn't want to do a certain amount of things. One thing that I did not want to do is that I didn't want to hold my kids financially responsible to take care of me, just because I'm their parent. They didn't choose, I'm sorry, to be here. If I was going to have kids or not, I had to work. I had to be certain that I am prepared for retirement, God willing. And if I didn't have them, who was going to pay for my retirement? If I didn't have children to look to, then that would have been all on me. They're here, but that should still be all on me. In the parental dynamic, and it may not just be a Hispanic thing. Maybe it might just be there's some a parental and offspring thing. Some parents feel like their children are supposed to support them in their latter years. I feel like your children have a choice to support you in your latter years. They do not have to do it. They may not be able to do it. They may have a family of their own. So therefore, I'm not going to hold my children responsible to take care of me when it's still my job to take care of myself. That's something that I have dealt with and that I'm seeing being done currently. But we'll move on from that. Another thing that I said I was not going to do was that I was not going to hold my daughter submissive to me because I'm her mother. In Hispanic cultures, and again, it could be in every other culture, it could be in every other dynamic. If I don't know, please correct me in the comments because I'm just speaking on what I've experienced and then what I know. But it's made to believe that because you are the daughter, and if you're the first daughter, it's horrible for you. But if you're the only daughter, then God help you. You have to be the one to do everything for your mother, despite the fact that you may have a family of your own. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone like me, for example. When I'm trying to take care of my 2 kids and my then husband, and when he was out the picture, I'm trying to take care of my 2 kids and take care of my mental being so that I can be as present for my children as possible. To then say that now I have to be responsible for you and meet your every need, if it's to go to a store or take you to get your nails done or take you to run an errand, what about what I have to do for my household or for my children? That's just as important, if not, I think more. You have the ability to do it. It's one thing if you don't, but you do. And you can find a way. But it's just the fact that I am the daughter that I have to drop my life to run and be at your beck and call. So I decided also that I was not going to make my daughter submissive to me. Because I feel like because she is a girl child, that she owes me and that she wouldn't know anything about this life or this world, or she would be able to function if it wasn't for me. That's not the case. I mean, I'm on YouTube right now. YouTube taught me a lot. My daughter is very young and she's cooking and she's baking. She's doing things that I didn't do at her age. And she got it from being inquisitive, asking questions, YouTube, asking friends, asking me. I didn't have the luxury as well at that age to ask a question. Your whole thing was to be seen but not be heard. So that's another thing that I said I was not going to do. Another thing, and I think this is a major thing in I don't know if it's the Hispanic community, but maybe just the Panamanian community, or again, it could be another community. If I'm wrong, let me know. Where else do you see this? But the idea that boys can be coddled all the way up until they are men, and they do not have to be held responsible for anything that they do. Example, they can have kids with 3 women and the mother would somehow justify it and say that it's okay. But if you, as the daughter, had 3 kids with 3 men, you are filthy, you don't take care of yourself, you don't listen, you there's something wrong with you as a woman. But the man and the man that turns in the boy that turns into the man can do it. So I think that is very important, and that's something that I try to teach my son, even when it comes to the basics like cleaning his room, cleaning the kitchen. We could be walking in a hallway. You see a piece of paper, you're gonna pick it up. You don't have a maid. I think that these men are not being told that they can take care of themselves, and that's okay. And in the end, it makes you highly desirable because you are not self-sufficient on a woman to take care of you. A woman will take care of a man, but they'll have a harder time doing it when they feel like they have to, because in his mind, that's what you're supposed to do. So I feel like in the culture that I was brought up in and what I saw, that was the idea. You get a woman, she's going to take care of your every need because she is supposed to do it. And that's why a lot of men that I've seen or that I've grown up around were never held accountable to take care of themselves. So those are the things that I feel is important to break, for me, to break these generational curses. I have other things too, but I just wanted to start off light because, like I said, it's my first video. I don't know how it's going to be taken, if people are going to even, see it. So, like, why even go any further? But I think that it's important for parents to hold themselves accountable to the standards that you were probably raised on. And if you had those standards that you were raised on, and let's say that you never had any kids, like I was told I was never going to have any kids. By the grace of God, I have 2 beautiful children. But it doesn't mean that because now that I have these kids that they're going to be my ticket to a better life. I still have the responsibility to take care of myself. And then I also have the responsibility as a parent to still take care of them if they should need me in their older years, if I'm able to. As long as I can guide them, I'm going to do that. That's another thing that doesn't happen. But like I said, I want to keep it as light and cute as possible, even though it might have been kind of heavy and like ugly, and I may not get a view from it. But I mean, that's just what I wanted to talk about today. I'm gonna come on and I'm just gonna just put things like this, things that come into my head, randomly, maybe once a week, maybe more, it's, a different time. So I have more time, on my hands. But I think that what I have to say, I don't think that it's anything that's, I think it's important to me, and I think that this could be like a really cool way to document my feelings for my kids when they get older and I'm not here anymore and they see this and they'll be like, wow, my mom was kind of dope. So, I'll be talking about more stuff. Anyone that watched this, I'm grateful. Thank you. Again, I'm not here to offend anyone. If you have any opinions about it, good or bad, feel free to come in, jump in, let me know, and we can talk about it and have a discussion about it. it's all about learning each other, learning different perspectives, and yeah, you know, I hope that this works out. I'll just keep trying, and I'll just see where this goes. But thanks for watching, whoever did, and I'll see you again soon. Oh, and subscribe and share. I almost forgot to say that. I guess that's the thing to say. Subscribe and share if you like. Okay, take care.